Hello everyone, and thank you for watching. My name is Peter Wolff, and we are back today for another version of the Wolff College of Coffee's weekly vlog. And today we want to talk about roasted density. Now, in a previous vlog we have mentioned using our little water pipe for using this to as a measurement to understand the density of your green coffee prior to roasting it. But here at Wolff Roasters, we have used this also as a way of measuring also our roasted coffee. But you should by now, if you haven't already, gone out and made yourself one of these lovely little water pipes as a way of measuring the volumetric density of your green coffee to understand how hard it is. We use it here also to measure our roasted density. So it's an outcome for us and a performance measure that we set in place for all of our roasted coffee here. We'll go into it. What do I actually mean? Well, what do I mean is that when we finish roasting the coffee, we let the coffee cool down, and then we weigh the coffee out again, and we take a physical measurement of this coffee roasted, and this allows us, as, I guess, as a guide to understand how the coffee has been developed, but also how the coffee is liking, I guess, the heat profile and the time in the roaster. Best example I could give you is that our green coffee, on average, let's say the average of most of our green coffees would be between 680 to 700 grams a litre. Now, we like to roast our coffee to about a medium roast here. We don't really go sort of beyond medium, so we can go up to medium and but not beyond. And so for us, we will be looking to put in place a range of roasted density between 360 to 380 grams a litre, and this would be the range that you can play around in for what we would call medium density coffee. Now, an example of this on how we would use it would be a coffee, and say we roasted it and we were really happy with everything about the roast. The roast development time you're very happy with that. The end temperature or the degree of caramelization, you were also equally happy. So everything was great, but you put it on the water pipe, and then all of a sudden, you know, it was 400 grams a litre roasted, and you know, it's higher than what you would want. And so what this typically means is that the coffee itself needs to be roasted a little bit longer. So the total time of the roaster needs to be increased to bring that number down. Now, in terms of the 400 grams a litre that I mentioned, it doesn't mean there's actually anything wrong with it. You just may find that the coffee's a little bit brighter. You may find it's a little bit more watery. It lacks a little bit of body. And you may find, for example, you may find a little bit of underdeveloped flavour, but it is really sort of dependent on the coffee. Now, on the flip side, let's just say that same roast that we had, but it also achieved 350 grams a litre, so it went lower than you expected. So the end temperature again was correct, or the degree of caramelization is what you wanted. But what 350 grams a litre is actually saying in this instance is that the amount of time in the roaster is too long, so you need to shorten the amount of time in the roaster to bring it up to sort of 360 and 380 grams a litre. So what I like to think of the pipe as being almost like a compass that helps point you in terms of a time direction, in which direction do I need to be going in terms of that coffee. Now, there are other ranges of green density coffees, and so, for example, the range of coffees that would sit between 600 and 680 grams a litre, then to have a medium roast, I would feel you would need to be achieving anywhere between 350 to 370 grams a litre. And then for those other coffees that kind of really go outside that paradigm, that are sort of, you know, in that sort of 500 to 550 and up to 600, you know, and these are coffees typically you might find that are unique processing methods, a bit like a monsoon coffee, or you may find a Pakmara or something like that. These coffees, you know, to expect them to sort of land in at a roasted density of 340 grams a litre is pretty normal and a-okay, given you're starting from a lower, softer base. So I think what this really is it's a compass for helping you understand which direction in time you need to be moving backwards and forwards. Now, you can have coffees taste really yummy at 400 grams a litre and beyond, but this is kind of moving you in towards the light sort of espresso style of roasting coffee, and what the numbers I have implicitly given you is I guess around the medium style espresso. So with the light style coffees, yeah, 400s, 390s, 400s. I think if you're getting beyond 415 grams a litre for espresso, I think we're really getting putting yourself into an area of high defect possibilities in terms of most definitely underdeveloped flavours or grassiness. So it is something to watch, but it is very much coffee specific as well. So some coffees, they will tell you where they would like to go. So that, I guess, is a really useful tool that we use here, and I've been using this method for nearly 30 years and have found it to be of great value. It is something that you have to persevere with, because the actual numbers that you get off your coffee and the flavour that you're getting, it's when those two get linked together in terms of your cupping and the number and the end roasted weight, that's when the power starts happening together, and then you know where this sort of range of coffee should be using. We also use this as a quality assurance measure. So every coffee that gets roasted, we put this on the pipe, as we call it here, and if it doesn't meet the criteria of what we set, so for example, if we have a goal of 370 grams a litre, we will only allow 5 grams either side of that, so 365 up to 375. If anything falls outside of that range, then the coffee gets put aside and we assess it and see whether or not it actually goes out to our customers, or whether we move it on in some other way. But there you go, that's roasted density. I think it's a really valuable tool, something a little bit more interesting for you to have a bit of a play around with outside of just doing your green density. If you like what you see, continue to keep subscribing. Love getting your feedback. I'd also like to make a quick shout out to a lovely gentleman whose name is Emmanuel from Kampala in Uganda, and he is a barista trainer at Ruby's Cafe. We've been chatting a little bit online on Messenger, and just wanted to say hello to Emmanuel. It's been nice catching up and doing some amazing things over there, and just one of our many viewers that we have around the Wolff College of Coffee. So thank you very much, and keep watching, everyone.